Blake Lively has always been the picture of glamour, effortlessly charming, socially conscious, and universally adored. So when news broke that she had abruptly left the country amidst mounting drama surrounding a high-profile film project, fans were left in disbelief. But what led to her unexpected departure? Was it simply a matter of being overwhelmed by public scrutiny, or was this a carefully calculated retreat to avoid facing the fallout from a brewing scandal? Today, we'll break down the events that have rocked Hollywood, dissect the messy battle between Blake and director Justin Baldoni, and explore how one of the industry's brightest stars may have fallen from grace. At the outset, everything about Blake Lively's casting in Justin Baldoni's highly anticipated film seemed perfect. The pair had reportedly hit it off from the start. Blake, known for her wit and charisma, was the ideal choice for a role that required both charm and depth. Justin, on the other hand, was the director everyone was excited about, particularly after his success with 5 Feet Apart. Early behind-the-scenes reports painted the collaboration as a match made in Hollywood heaven, and fans couldn't wait to see the final product. But as the shoot wore on, subtle tensions began to simmer. Crew members started noticing Blake becoming noticeably less engaged, pulling away from the camaraderie that typically defined her approach on set. In a town that thrives on teamwork, this shift didn't go unnoticed. What seemed like a small crack eventually turned into a noticeable divide. While Justin was working hard to manage the film's intense schedule and creative challenges, Blake seemed to grow more distant, particularly in the presence of her co-star and director. Rumors started to swirl that Blake was feeling stifled by the way the film was evolving. With Justin taking on a multifaceted role as both director and star, could Blake have been feeling sidelined even though she was the film's lead? The tension wasn't just in the air, it was palpable. Hollywood thrives on drama, and when tensions between Blake and Justin started making their way into the tabloids, the narrative quickly spun out of control. Initially, Blake's camp was quick to respond, calling out what they framed as unfair reporting. According to her representatives, the tension between her and Justin was exaggerated. But then the first significant public leak occurred, reports of Blake being labeled difficult by crew members. This was a far cry from the public persona Blake had carefully cultivated over the years. In her carefully curated social media presence, she was always the relatable, fun-loving actress, the one who would effortlessly crack jokes with co-stars and share heartwarming family moments with her husband, Ryan Reynolds. But now, a different story was emerging. Allegations began to surface, claiming that Blake had become difficult to work with. The media was abuzz with rumors of her clashes with Justin. She was reportedly unhappy with the script, questioning certain plot choices, and even suggesting that Justin's influence over the project was too strong. In some versions of the story, Blake was painted as someone who couldn't handle the pressure of such a major project. But from Justin's side, things were different. They'd collaborated extensively in the lead up to production, adjusting scenes, schedules, and even dialogue to accommodate her input. Publicly, Justin remained silent on the issue, taking the high road, while Blake's team began to quietly push back, portraying her as the misunderstood artist. Just when it seemed like Blake's narrative might take hold, Justin Baldoni dropped a bombshell. New receipts, screenshots of unedited text messages between him and Blake over the course of the film's production began to surface. What had been a simple dispute was now evolving into a full-blown war of words.
I think that as women, you're not often given authorship, yet women represent 85% of people making purchases in homes across all categories.
These messages showed Justin actively soliciting Blake's input on every major decision, everything from set changes to costume choices to shooting schedules. In one particularly revealing exchange, Justin apologized for a miscommunication regarding an important scene, offering Blake multiple options to make it more in line with her vision. He didn't just appear accommodating, he was going out of his way to keep Blake happy. But Blake's response to these attempts was telling. Far from being appreciative of the effort, her replies became increasingly curt and dismissive. In several instances, she questioned the direction of the project, implying that Justin's influence was becoming too overpowering. One of the most damning exchanges came when Blake suggested that Justin should stay in his lane and let her take more creative control. The tone of the messages shifted from collaborative to confrontational. The public was left wondering, was Blake trying to manipulate the situation to her advantage, or had the project truly become a battleground for creative differences? As the receipts continued to roll in, the picture painted by Blake's earlier statements began to crumble. Industry insiders began speculating that perhaps Blake wasn't as innocent as she had portrayed herself. Was she, in fact, manipulating the narrative to garner sympathy? Some of the messages suggested that she had been less concerned with the integrity of the film and more focused on leveraging her star power for personal gain. Blake had hinted at her powerful connections in Hollywood, with one text even mentioning that she could easily find a way to make this work in her favor. In hindsight, many began to wonder, was Blake strategically playing the victim to keep her place at the top of Hollywood's social hierarchy? But this wasn't just about Blake's relationship with Justin. There were whispers of Ryan Reynolds' involvement behind the scenes. Fans had long adored the couple for their playful banter and seemingly perfect relationship. But now there was speculation that Ryan might have been helping Blake orchestrate her public narrative. Some insiders even suggested that Ryan had privately spoken to key people in the industry, questioning Justin's leadership and subtly undermining his authority on set. Was Ryan Reynolds pulling the strings to ensure that Blake remained the victim in this battle? The situation took another unexpected turn when Blake's attorney unexpectedly resigned from the case. This wasn't just any attorney, it was someone who had represented her for years, and their sudden departure raised a lot of eyebrows. The resignation letter, though carefully worded, hinted at serious discrepancies in Blake's version of events. While the attorney didn't explicitly state what had gone wrong, their departure created a cloud of doubt that hovered over Blake's entire defense. Was Blake's team imploding from within? And if her own attorney was stepping down, what did that say about the validity of the claims she had made? For the public, this was a game changer. Legal drama added a new layer of intrigue to an already complicated situation. Was Blake's attorney privy to information that the public hadn't yet seen? Or did the resignation signal a deeper, more troubling issue with Blake's credibility? The silence only added fuel to the fire. As rumors swirled, Blake made her move. She disappeared. And by disappeared, we mean vanished into thin air. Her publicist confirmed that she was taking some time away from the press, citing personal reasons, but the details remained scarce. Eyewitnesses in the airport reported seeing Blake in a secluded VIP lounge, dressed in oversized sunglasses and a hoodie, trying to blend into the background. Paparazzi snapped blurry photos from a distance, fueling speculation that Blake wasn't just stepping away, she was running away. Was she fleeing from the intense media scrutiny, or was this a more calculated maneuver to distance herself from the allegations before they escalated further? In the days that followed, the media landscape was flooded with theories. Was Blake retreating to a private estate abroad, hoping the storm would pass? Or was she planning something bigger, like a strategic PR comeback with a carefully crafted statement to counter the public narrative? While Blake was off the radar, all eyes turned to Ryan Reynolds. His public stance remained cautious. He didn't comment directly on the drama between Blake and Justin, but as the speculation grew, some questioned whether Ryan had been instrumental in helping his wife manage the narrative. With Ryan's global popularity and unparalleled charm, could he have been quietly working behind the scenes to shape public perception? After all, Ryan Reynolds was no stranger to the power of social media and media manipulation. His Twitter presence alone could sway millions, but was he now using that influence to protect Blake's image? And what about the rumors that Ryan had been in contact with key industry figures to discredit Justin and turn the tide in Blake's favor? If Ryan chose to follow Blake abroad, would that be seen as a united front, or a calculated move to ensure that both remained untouchable, even in the face of mounting controversy? Blake and Ryan, once the darlings of Hollywood with their seemingly perfect relationship and witty social media exchanges, now found themselves embroiled in a controversy that could have long-lasting effects on their careers. Industry insiders started to question whether their brand was as bulletproof as they once thought. Public opinion began to split. Could Blake ever fully recover from this scandal, or was her reputation irreparably damaged? While Blake's departure sent shockwaves through the media, Justin Baldoni remained focused on the bigger picture. He publicly reiterated that his main priority was the creative integrity of the film and reaffirmed that the production would continue as planned. Despite the chaos, Justin's calm leadership was praised by cast and crew alike, many of whom felt that his commitment to the project had been undermined by the drama. In an industry prone to star tantrums, Justin's approach stood in stark contrast. As the dust settles, the big question remains. What's next for Blake Lively? Will she make a comeback with a carefully crafted PR strategy, or will she lay low for an extended period? Some insiders suggest she might attempt a redemption arc, but with the volume of new evidence stacked against her, the road to recovery may be long. For now, Blake's sudden departure remains a cautionary tale for Hollywood about how quickly a star's image can shift and how powerful the truth can be when it finally comes to light. Blake Lively's career, once as smooth as her red carpet appearances, is now mired in controversy. The saga of leaked texts, strategic leaks, and abrupt exits underscore just how quickly a star's reputation can spiral out of control. Whether Blake will return to reclaim her place in the spotlight remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, Hollywood is watching closely. For now, Justin Baldoni and the crew are pushing forward with the film, determined not to let the drama define their work. But the questions surrounding Blake's sudden departure will linger long after the final credits roll.